Okay. Well, you are tuned in to KAZ Radio, Cleveland's online inspiration station. And today we got two inspirational brothers in the studio with me today.
Hey.
None other than LaVance and Sean. Why don't you guys introduce yourself to the KAZ Radio audience?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Praise the Lord. God bless you. God bless you. My name is LaVance Lonnie. I am a Christian comedian from Cleveland, Ohio, originally. And this show is called The Safehouse, and The Safehouse is a show about dealing with addictions. I am a recovered drug addict and alcoholic. I'll have 8 years sober next month if the Lord allows.
Pending a urine sample.
Yeah,
we're not sure that he actually had a
pick up. But this show is about solutions, offering solutions to those that are out there dealing with addictions. Whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, whether it's rock and roll, whether it's gambling, pornography, whatever. The solution is the same. The solution is God. I am also a member of a 12-step program, so we use a combination of personal experience, 12-step programming, and God to get you out of the madness into a safe place. And like I said, I'm a Christian comedian. I'm a minister at Zion Pentecostal Church of Christ. What's up, y'all? Where my pastor is Bishop C. Wayne Brantley, and my lovely wife, Evangelist Tina A. Lining, is my wife of 6 years as of November. And I traveled around the country to different churches, concerts, colleges, and different events, spreading comedy and uplifting Jesus. So that's what I do. And what do you do, young man?
First of all, this is my show. Okay, this I run this.
The devil is a lie.
First of all, this is my show. I run this. LaVance is my personal assistant. Okay, he drive me around everywhere I go. Say yes to everything that I say. So let's get that out the way right away. I also am a Christian. I was put out of my church because I wouldn't pass the basket. I was trying to weigh the basket and see how much was in it. Wasn't really trying to contribute. So I'm also a Christian, but what I do is I'm a circuit speaker. I go around the world and other countries, and I speak about chemical dependency, drug addiction. I'm also a recovery coach. I'm also on road to get my CDCA, and I'm just trying to further my education.
And it's CDL.
Right. I'm just trying to further my education, and the purpose of this show is to carry this message to a broader audience. I've spoke a lot of places for a lot of people, and it's all due to the grace of God, and we wanted to figure out how we can get our message to a broader audience. So we came to KAZ Radio. They gave us an opportunity, and this show is going to be a hit. But after this show, I'm taking over the radio station. I'm going to own all this is mine, okay? Right. So y'all need to understand, you can call in. We deal with a broad range of issues. We talk about sports, we talk about politics, we talk about your mama, because every family has been involved with some type of drug and alcohol tragedy. Right. So if you want to call in and you want to share what's going on with you, you can email us at the Safe Show. The Safehouse show. Right. See, the Safehouse show. See, my assistant. You see, he jumped right in and backed me up because that's what he do. He's a backup man. Right. It's the Safehouse show at gmail.com. Also on Instagram, the Safehouse show on Instagram. Also on Facebook. The Safehouse show on Facebook. But you can email us your questions. You can call in, and we'll try to get around to it, and we'll try to help you get a solution to whatever your problem is. So you might ask what qualifies.
And what's that call-in number? It's 216-797-1536.
Now, I know you can't see the other person. That's God, okay? And we need y'all to know God is in the booth with us. It's not just a faceless, nameless person. That voice I heard was God. So don't call him with no garbage because God is in the studio with us.
I wouldn't make it a habit calling me that.
We can get our message out to a broader audience. If you have a problem or issue of any kind, feel free to call the radio station.
And you can also call in anonymously if you wish. We don't.
But we got caller ID, so don't call in anonymously with your caller ID. Because we'll call your house back and tell your wife what you said.
Well, one thing I know about addiction, gentlemen, is that most people know you're an addict before you do. Mm-hmm. Through your patterns and the things that you do as a drug addict. And if you look around Cleveland in the news in general,
there's plenty of people.
There's addiction all over. Matter of fact, I think it's one of the prerequisites to be a council person in Cleveland. what are we showing the kids? It's like all I got to do to be a councilman is drink and drive.
So what you're saying? That's exactly what you're talking about. You talking about Zach Reed?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, but if you're looking for a drink, now if you listening in and watching on the show, and you don't have a problem with drugs or alcohol, and you looking for a drinking buddy, Zach Reed is your guy, man.
Well,
okay?
what I don't understand is,
well, that's one guy that won't be coming on your show.
Yeah. Well, I reached out to Zach. I really did. I reached out to Zach.
Did you reach out with a wine bottle in your hand?
No, I actually sent him a serious message on Twitter about recovery, and was trying to get him to come to our meeting that we do on Monday nights to come get some real help. Because what I found is most people that have a celebrity status or a certain stature in life don't get the real help that they need because people are scared to step on their toes.
Oh, absolutely.
And they step, and they give them a little pat on the back and tell them, "Oh, you're different than everybody else." No, Zach Reed is just like the bum that's in the alley. There's no different, but the solution is the same.
Well, there is a difference because he's afforded opportunities that everybody else is not afforded.
Absolutely.
Now, if you had a DUI or if I had a DUI, this man has had 3 and hasn't faced the consequences of 1.
Right.
So he's treated a little differently.
Well, the problem is twofold. Zach has a thinking problem.
Right.
It's not the drinking, it's his thinking. Because if I make $76,000 a year, I can afford to pay somebody $300 a week to drive me around.
Right.
So I think part of the
he
excitement...
He can $30 a day to drive me around.
Part of the excitement for him is to get away with drinking and driving. See if I can get away with it. Same thing with Kenny Crumpton.
On
Fox 8
you ain't going Kenny Crumpton.
But he's been kicking it in more bars than,
you can't talk about Kenny Crumpton, man. I like Kenny Crumpton.
I like Kenny too, but I don't want to ride with him.
No. I mean, Kenny a little strange, man. I met Kenny one day and I shook his hand, and his hand was cuffed. It wasn't straight out, man. It was like making a C. And I say that I know he live in Lakewood. Hey, man, I know Kenny live in Lakewood, and his hand was cuffed. So when I shook his hand, it was kind of like a strange motion, man. And don't talk about Kenny, man. Kenny be smiling. Kenny be up in the morning. Be happy.
Well, let's talk about the solution real quick. There's some real solutions, and there are some facades that are out there that may think you that they are a valid, viable solution, but they're really not. First one is I saw a commercial on TV for Passages in Malibu treatment center. Beautiful treatment center. They have a jacuzzi.
Where's Malibu located?
Malibu is in California.
Isn't that where all the good cocaine is supposed to be?
Yeah, it's a high rent district.
Mm-hmm.
It's a high rent district. It's where the affluent, wealthy people go to relax. So anyway, Passages says they have a cure for addiction.
Okay.
The guy in the commercial says, "I was an addict for 10 years, but now I'm not." And, I have a problem with that.
Okay.
Because if you take a drink, you're going to be right back where you were before.
Okay.
You got cured. So there is no cure for addiction. There is one that's called dying. Or
if you die, it's over with.
Right. Or a program of recovery, giving your life to God. That's man's cure and God's cure, but there is no cure like this passage is talking about. But I think they're really selling the resort that they are, because it's more of a swimming pool, jacuzzi, acupuncture. I looked up the therapy. They have 22 different forms of therapy that they do, and their music, art, and everything that they do is an occupation. And I've gotten high with all of those occupations, so the therapy is invalid. I've got high with artists, musicians, massage therapists. Never got high with somebody that did acupuncture. But look it up online, Passages of Malibu, and tell me what you think. I think it's probably about $40,000 a month.
I think it's a crock. I think it's a crock. I've seen people struggle with drug addiction. My whole family, other than myself, has struggled with drug addiction, man. And the solution that I found was in the 12-step program.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't believe it because they don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to them. They don't see the how this stuff is going to help. But it's one of those things where you have to follow the directions and lead the results to manifest themselves. Right. You can't produce I'll do this and then what's going to happen, or I'll do this and what's going to happen. So
what you're saying is God produces the results.
Oh, yeah. God produces the results, but I got to do the work.
Absolutely.
See, I give you an example. I have people come to me all the time and they say, well, my brother is suffering or my mother is suffering. Can you help them? Because they know what I do, the recovery coaching, the sponsoring, the meetings, things of that nature. And I tell them no. and they look at me lost like, well, I thought that's what you did. But the bottom line is, if you're standing there talking to me instead of your loved one, then this isn't going to work.
Absolutely.
See, this thing only starts to work when the individual sees that they have a
Absolutely.
problem. People told me I had a problem long time before I realized I had a problem.
Well, that's the equivalent of somebody going to the pastor in church and saying, my cousin wanted to get baptized, but he didn't come. Can you baptize me for him?
Right, yeah. Well,
It don't work that way.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. So, but the bottom line is, if I want some help, or if I have a problem with any kind of chemical addiction, gambling, or any other like, I have to find, it's three things that I have to do. I have to find the problem, I have to find a solution, and then I have to find a program of action to apply that solution. It's just not enough to say I'm a drug addict. Okay, there's no solution in admitting the problem. I said I was a liar a long time ago.
Right.
That didn't make me stop lying. Okay, so just because I admit that there's a problem, that does not produce any results. All that does is says that I'm aware that there's something wrong.
Right.
But in order for the problem to get corrected, I got to do something about it.
Right.
I can't just sit around hoping that God gonna bless me. God bless those that get up and apply themselves.
Not right. And,
Right.
let me add this as well, because, a lot of our listeners are active in church, go to church, and I'm one of those people. And prior to me actually letting the light turn on by God, getting the light turned on, and having a spiritual awakening, I was struggling. I was sitting in church, struggling. So a lot of people have a sense that you can't do both. You got to do one or the other. I can't be in church and be in the 12-step recovery program, or I can't be in the 12-step recovery program and still attend church.
God forgive me. I went to church high.
Right. Yeah.
13, 14 years old, I used to smoke weed and I would go to church, And I look back on some of the things that I did, and then I would try to rely on certain things to help me, man. But I have to realize, if I want some help, I'm going to have to go get it.
Right. Absolutely.
It's not going to come to me, man. It's not going to be easy.
And the church is a hospital.
It was difficult getting this messed up. So it's going to be equally, it's going to be some work. It's going to take some work necessary for me to get better. So one thing that I want to encourage anybody that's listening that may have a problem with chemicals or any kind of addiction is to look at the fact that in order for me to get some help, I'm going to have to try harder. Because obviously what I'm doing now is not working. So whether it be a 12-step program, maybe you can go to church. Maybe you can try something that maybe me and Levance has not tried. But the bottom line is, once I realize that there's a problem, I need to seek a solution. Right. I cannot depend on my mind, which is addicted to gambling, sex, or drugs, to stop itself from being addicted to it.
Right.
So I'm going to have to find some help outside of me, and that's one of the main things.
Hey, what's that call-in number again? What's that call-in number, please?
That call-in number is 797-1536.
216 area code.
Oh, yeah, 216. So
that's 216.
797-1536.
Give them a call.
Give us a call with your questions, concerns, comments, and we'll holler at you.
Yeah, so the bottom line is, there's a lot of things that's going on that we wanted to touch upon. A lot of people are in an uproar about the Trayvon Martin trial. And personally, I was upset by the verdict, and then I YouTubed and started watching the trial. And what actually happened was the prosecution put up such a weak case. It was just so weak. Whether it was from the young lady that didn't speak well, whether it was some of the witnesses and the testimony and the tapes and all of those things, it was just very, very weak. So I don't know if the outrage was for the verdict itself, or if the outrage was because of how unprepared the defense team was. So that was one of them things that I wanted to speak on. I wanted to get your take on it also and find out how you felt about the verdict. Well, because a lot of people wanted to take to the streets and burn down their community, and I don't understand how that brings about any kind of justice to anybody.
Right. Well, I had mixed emotions about it. Being a few years older than you, I've seen a lot of things.
Oh no, you a lot more than a few years older than me.
You almost there, sir.
No, you old. You so old that insult for you used to be, well, good day, sir. That was an insult in your day. Hey, let me tell you how old this dude is. Me and LeVan's riding together. A song come on the radio. He get to dancing a little bit. I say, well, turn up. He say, turn what up? I say, never mind, man. And we just kept riding. Yeah. But go ahead and tell me about this Trayvon Martin murder.
I think the same people that are concerned about Trayvon and want to have rallies and marches and candlelight vigils to show support should go to Chicago and deal with these murders and these. Chicago is has more shootings than Iraq. Mm-hmm.
And for those of our listeners that don't know, he knows that the Trayvon thing occurred in Florida, but we're talking about Chicago now. Yeah, because Chicago has the highest black on black crime, highest rate of death for young black Africans. Absolutely. So go ahead. I apologize.
And Trayvon, I think the case, social media kind of blew the case up on it, gave it a national presence, and that's why it even went to trial. I don't think if they would have not started posting it on Facebook and Twitter, people wouldn't have known about it, and it would have been swept under the carpet like the other. Florida is full.
That's another thing. They said it was never supposed to go to trial. Yeah. They said that this gentleman shouldn't have even been seen according to the laws. Right. But they said media made such a big deal out of it. Right.
Absolutely. So so this generation is event cause driven. If it's a cause, everybody wants to get onto it, but we got to look at causes and conditions. In our neighborhoods, it's we understand what happened in Florida, but I live in Cleveland, and I'm concerned about what's going on in East Cleveland with these 3 women being found,
if not more,
with these sexual predators that are walking around in our neighborhood with our kids and our wives and our significant others. That's what we need to look at. We need to
and we're not giving adequate information to these people are this close to us.
Right, and we need to get back to the old neighborhoods that we had. Back when anybody could whip your kids, everybody, kids were respectful of adult authority.
Oh no, you can't do that now. You try to whip your kid,
absolutely. So that's what I'm concerned about. I'm trying to change the world by changing my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on where I'm at, and but I had my mixed emotions about Trayvon. Like I said, I think that Trayvon was innocent, walking home.
Mm-hmm. And I agree.
And I've heard on to media that agrees with my position. I always listen to the other side. I listen to other radio stations. I love talk radio. And somebody said that the girl that was talking to Trayvon said that Zimmerman was following him might have been a homosexual looking to rape black boys. Okay. And so that's what they were saying. Well, that's why Trayvon beat him up, because he was gay bashing. So they're trying to give him the mechanism of self-defense by saying Trayvon was bashing him because he thought he was a gay homosexual. Well, even if that's the case, Trayvon should have still been given the right to walk home and not be followed.
Well, let me put this out there, man. I think Zimmerman is guilty of sin. Period. Okay, and the reason why I want to state that is because there were too many facts to the contrary that he wasn't guilty. Okay, so the bottom line was I just wanted to put it on the floor because I know a lot of people never got a chance to voice what they wanted to say or their true beliefs about it. So I want to let you guys know that's out there listening that my position is very, very simple.
Well, guys, you got a caller on the line, and let's bring our caller in and see what he has to say about the situation. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say I'm glad to see you gentlemen on this show, especially Mr. Sean Dollar. This is your buddy.
Oh, I know who it is. How you doing, Shakir?
All right. Hey, man, only thing I want to say before I even get off into asking questions and all that is I think this is a great program to even get started. And I'm so grateful that you text me to let me know to get on. And I don't know if this is your first show or not, but I hope it's not the last one.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, brother. And yes, this is our first show.
It's the first show.
All right.
And you're the first guest.
You're the first caller.
You go in the archives. So now you gotta say something. Now you gotta say something meaningful.
I'm gonna say something meaningful, like, that ain't meaningful because I like to go out and start a vigilante group to take care of some of this
I know you do,
predator
brother.
stuff and all of that. but just what y'all saying is important. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that you done touched on, from the politician to the drug addict, to the drug addict in church, to the drug addict out of church, to the sexual predator, to Trayvon, and like the gentleman said, I was concerned about Trayvon, but I'm more concerned about what's going on in Cleveland, because he ain't the only young man that's been shot
That's
and
correct.
killed.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Without just cause and with no justice. But sometimes the media pick who we rally around,
Exactly.
and not us, and that's what the media picked at.
I agree.
You know. So I just like to say, man, just keep up the work, man, and throw out how long, when you're gonna be on. This is a certain day and all that, so I can lock in and be more part of the show.
Not a problem, Shakir. Thanks for
I
calling.
love you, man.
I love you too, brother. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Once again, if you want to reach us, you can reach us at the Safehouse Show, the Safehouse Show at Instagram, the Safehouse Show on Facebook, and the Safehouse Show at gmail.com. Our show appears every Thursday from 7 to 8 o'clock, and I am the star and the host. Right. And Levance,
he's the starer.
And Levance is my sidekick. Okay,
That's
he run and get me water. Y'all might notice a couple times during the show he'll get up and go get me some water or something to drink. And don't allow his shirt to throw y'all off from the seriousness of our issue.
Right.
Okay, so we covered Trayvon Martin. I want to share something with everybody that's out there. I want to tell y'all something that happened to me. I'm at a restaurant. And the name of the restaurant, I don't even know if I should plug it.
No, you shouldn't plug it.
I shouldn't plug it? Okay.
Unless they're going
to okay. I'm at the restaurant, and I'm ordering something to eat, and a gentleman walks in, and he's in bad shape, kind of like I was in, the same shape I was in, and he was trying to sell something, man. And I need to let y'all know what he's trying to sell, because it caught me so off guard, not when he said it, but once he left. The gentleman walked in and he had a used tailpipe, right?
Wow.
So he walks in the store with a used tailpipe. He say, anybody need a tailpipe? So, everybody say, no, brother, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. And so nobody bought the tailpipe. And as the guy left, I started thinking. I said, what is this guy's range, Levan? A tailpipe?
Yeah.
It's three of us in the studio.
Well, he probably had got rid of the rest of the car prior to coming in there.
It's over 100
That's all he had
years.
left.
Hey, look, it's over 100 between the three of us. It's over 100 years of life experience. At no time has any of us ever needed a tailpipe, man.
Yeah.
And what kind of people would we have been in the restaurant to say, man, I was looking for a tailpipe.
I can't find no tailpipes nowhere.
And the man brought the tailpipe in, and he was juggling it from both hands. So I don't know if he took it off his car.
That's one of the symptoms of drug addiction.
Did he say what model tailpipe?
No, he just said he got a tailpipe.
He probably said it was universal. To make sure you can sell it.
Right. You put it on a motorcycle.
It worked for everything.
Yeah. And it was so crazy. I couldn't, and I've been a part of a lot of things, but that's a big range.
Yeah,
man.
that's
a tailpipe.
But the thing about it is, I'd like to see the process that it took for him to not only get the tailpipe, but to make a decision that I'm gonna leave out of the house and go try to sell this tailpipe. First of all, I got to say, where am I gonna go?
Yeah.
Who am I gonna ask?
Right.
And how am I gonna look?
Yeah. Well, when you already know when you on crack, man, you don't care how you look.
It don't even matter.
No,
it don't even matter.
No.
He said somebody gonna buy this tailpipe.
You
today.
better believe it. I've sold a lot of stuff, man. I sold a used iron. It was burnt up. I done sold. I remember one time I used to, I was homeless. For those of you out there that don't know, I was very badly on drugs and alcohol, and I sleep in the hallway sometime. And in Garden Valley, they got laundry rooms. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like a full makeover. I'd get up and I got on a shirt that say Mark LTV still, and I'm just, I done left out the laundry. I got on the guy's whole work uniform.
Right.
I ain't had a job in years.
But the thing about it, and then you too busy smoking crack to go to LTV to fill out an application. You know what I'm saying? To get a shirt with Sean on it. You don't want to do that. It's like, no, I'll just wear Mark's stuff.
Not at all.
So maybe I can go pick up Mark's check.
Man, this is a bad thing though, man. This our neighborhoods are being ripped apart, man, with this dope and alcohol, man. And it's so bad because the loved ones are the ones that call me. And the loved ones are the ones that come to me and say, well, I need to get some help for my brother. I need to get some help for my husband. I need to get some help. Like, I had a young lady, her name is Janice. And Janice came to me one day and she said, Sean, I need you to help my husband. She said, I don't understand. She said, we got a family. You know, we both have careers. We have a home. We have cars. We've built this beautiful life together. And he won't stop getting high. And I said, well, listen, Janice, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to Walgreens. I want you to get a bottle of extra strength X-Lax, and I want you to drink it all the way down to the last of the bottle. I said, and then 15 minutes after that, I want you to use your morals, your values, your ethics to prevent that X-Lax from working. And she looked at me and said, Sean, that's crazy. I said, so is thinking that an untreated alcoholic and addict can just stop. Yeah. That is the craziest thing anybody ever said to me. They like, man, you need to stop. I'm like, damn, why didn't I think about that?
Well, they stop
now that you said stop, it's over for me.
Guys,
you understand?
We have a caller. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, caller.
Fellas, what's up? This is Ben Diesel. What's happening?
Hey, Ben Diesel, what's going on?
Hey, I love both y'all brothers. You know, man, I'm here to support anything y'all about. I done known the both of you for a little bit over 3.5 years, going on 4. Sean Dollars, I love you, man. You know, you helped save my life 3.5 years ago. God sent you in my path, and God works through people, then He works through you, man.
I love you too,
3.5 years ago, I ain't found a reason to pick up or use anything, you know.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
I heard y'all guys talking about them passages. You know, I be hearing about them, you know, they coming out with them pills that make me stop smoking crack.
Yeah.
You know, like we say, I just might be popping a whole bunch of Skittles, man.
Right.
That's the type of person I am.
Well, the funny thing about it, James, you know, they got a nicotine patch. They never had a crack patch because you would need a jogging suit for crackheads.
I'd be looking like a human Band-Aid up in that baby.
Right.
And then crackhead gonna try to smoke the patch. We're like, yeah, put that in the pipe. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to call and say I love y'all brothers, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm here 100%, man. With God, we can do all things are possible.
That's right,
you
man.
know that's right. Hey, thanks for calling, James, and I'll see you later on in the week, brother.
All right, we love you, man.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good evening, fellas.
All right. Yeah, so it's strange, man, when you dealing with a problem that's serious, man, and a lot of people in the public, they don't understand. They think we're weak. Mm-hmm. You know, they just think it's a thing dealing with weakness. Like, well, why you not stronger?
Right.
And why don't you just stop?
Right.
And what about your family? And,
right.
and how you let something that small affect you that way? They don't understand. Right. It's an illness.
And alcohol being socially acceptable. A lot of people don't realize when Prohibition was in effect, alcohol was illegal.
Okay.
You know, and alcohol is the original drug.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's socially acceptable, and it is cool almost to be an alcoholic now.
Right.
It's okay, man. Oh, he drunk. Oh, look, he drunk. Oh.
Right. Hey guys, we got a caller.
Go ahead, caller. You live?
Go ahead, caller.
Hello. That's a stolen cell phone.
Caller,
I know that
your
signal.
phone
Yeah,
bill?
that's what I'm saying. That's a stolen cell phone. But like you were saying, yeah, it's more acceptable to be an alcoholic than it is a drug addict. Even drug addicts say, "Oh, I'm an alcoholic," because they don't want to be looked at and looked upon as the scum of the earth.
Absolutely.
But see, what the audience has to understand, man, they're people. Addicts and alcoholics are people. You may not understand their struggle, but they're people, man. They don't want to ruin their family. Like, I didn't want to ruin my family. I didn't want to ruin my life. I didn't want to be in a situation where I hurt people. The biggest lie that an addict or alcoholic will tell you is that I'll be right back.
Right.
Because I don't actually know when I'll be right back. The drugs and alcohol will determine when I'll be right back.
All right, caller, go ahead. You live.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. I just wanted to congratulate you two.
Turn down.
Y'all are two clowns. I know I'm going to really enjoy you all.
You got to turn your computer down a little bit. We didn't hear any of your comment, and we would like to hear it. Hello?
Y'all are just, I'm glad y'all have gotten together. You're two really good, great people. And I'm going to look forward to this. I know you both, and I know it's going to be great.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
All right.
And we appreciate you.
Okay, you're in my prayers. Bye-bye.
All right,
Okay,
thanks.
thank you so much, and we appreciate the call. We appreciate all
God
the
bless
callers,
you.
but we need you guys to understand when you call, please cut your radios down because we would like to hear what you have to say. You might have a question, you might want to say something of
Cut your computer
importance.
speakers
You might
down.
even call in and ask somebody you want us to pray for.
And
yeah.
And
So
we will be glad to do that for you.
Yeah, but we need you to cut your radios down so that we can hear you, so we can get your message out.
Dealing with the addict, I'm gonna give a personal testimony. The Bible says we overcome by.
You gonna stand up and start shaking?
The blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. I have my brother's 2 kids, through his and the mother of his children's addiction. I'm not gonna say their names, but we got their kids in March.
You said Kenny Crumpton name. You said his whole name.
Yeah.
Now we ain't okay, go ahead.
Well, Kenny Crumpton
said
was on
Zach
Fox
Reed.
8. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't the only Fox he would. But go ahead.
And so addiction. Me going through my addiction, for over 25 years wasn't enough to prevent my brother from going down that same path. And the ironic thing about it is that the solution is the same for him, but he won't buy into doing the work.
Oh no!
So he'd rather have me raise his kids, my wife and I. Hey Kayla, hey RJ. My wife has had the kids now.
Okay.
But beautiful kids.
What make you think your wife listening, man?
Oh, cuz.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That's my baby. Hey,
we
baby.
don't even know if she love you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Ask her.
She married for insurance purposes.
Ask her.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
You're saying what you went through, your brother viewed it, and it wasn't enough to
stop him.
See, that's the thing
that's the madness of the disease.
Yeah. Well, the thing that people have to understand is fear. Alone won't keep you sober. Fear alone won't prevent you from anything, because there's a lot of men other than myself. At one point in my, and well, still to this day, HIV is a very scary thing to me. And it always has been. But I can honestly tell you that every time I had sex, I would wrap it up. I just wouldn't. I would look at the woman up and down, and I'll look up and down and be like, she ain't got nothing,
Right.
And I don't know what I was expecting her to look like, like scratching her.
Right.
And even if she would have did that, I'd have been like, you need a hose? She probably just got a scratchy throat.
Right. Well, and another thing with sexual sin is, like you said, you end up with something that you can't get rid of.
Get rid of?
Get rid of, which is children.
That's if Elmer Fudd catch it, right?
Is children.
If he get rid of. Elmer Fudd the one can't get rid of it.
If you had lips this big to move around, you would understand. LL Cool J want his lips back.
Yeah.
So but everybody has their issues. And the thing we have, nowadays everybody's talking about judging. You're judging me. You're judging me. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 that we're able to judge the littlest things. We're even going to judge angels in the last day.
Okay.
And so when you're judging people, all that means is, because I'm taking a look at you, that means you can also take a look at me. So that means your gambling is no different than my crack addiction. Your pornography addiction is no different than my crack addiction. Your liking your pedophilia is no different than me liking to steal.
Yeah, but that's beautiful. I like the way you went Bible, because I don't know the Bible, and I didn't appreciate that.
Right.
So let me bring up some Donald Goings scriptures and some Donald Goings stuff that I'm sure you don't know nothing about. But I agree, man, that your sin or your problem is not minimized to mine.
Right.
Like, I want to look at your stealing or your abuse of your wife and look at it differently than my lying.
Right.
See, if I got a problem, I don't need to be focused on what everybody else doing wrong. That ain't going to improve the quality of my life.
That's like the myth of the white lie. There's no such thing as a white lie.
Well, gentlemen, we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing okay. Who we talking to?
You talking to Art Faison.
Oh, my God. You talking about the star, the guy that was in the play down at the Palace that had all them rave reviews?
It's a gift, my brother. It's just a gift.
Okay, my man. How you doing, Art?
Life is good. Life is good. Just getting off work, driving to my children so I can go home and
you got a lot of them. Yeah, you got
do the parenting thing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got a few. They say you like George Bush. You don't know when to pull out, but that's for another show. Yeah, that's for another show, man. So, what got you calling in today? You just speaking to us, or you had something you wanted to speak on? Did you want to speak on the Trayvon Martin, the addiction, the judgment, or were you just calling in?
I was calling in just to wish you both the success.
And
Success. Calling in, letting you know that I am going to be tuning in whenever possible.
Okay.
And, giving my input.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah, well, we would also appreciate if you don't give us your input, okay?
Oh, I'm going to give you my input because you're going to give me yours.
Okay, well, look.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little productive debate.
No, it's not. It's not. But when I want your opinion, I'm going to give it to you.
That's just like you, Mr. Dallas. Just like you.
Hey, listen, man, I love you. Tell Jade and the kids that I said hello and thanks for calling. Hey, LeVance wanted to know the name of the play that you were in.
The Gift.
It's called The Gift. Okay.
The Gift.
And you guys got rave reviews for that. That was a gospel Christian play, right?
Yes, it was. Most definitely.
Yeah, well, they said you did good. Did you play a crackhead in the thing?
Actually, I was the bailiff.
Now that's a stretch. That's a stretch. You should have had something dealing with smoking crack, because that would have been right up your lane.
But we didn't have that road. That was in God Blocked It. That was a whole other play.
Hey, brother Faison, tell him once we lived it, we don't want to play it again.
Okay.
That's right. We don't have to go back, but we don't have to play it again. But sometimes it will help others.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it does help others. I do not regret the past, nor do I wish to shut the door on it.
My man. Hey, Art, man, you know how I feel about you, man. Thank you for calling, man. Call in as much as you like, and for the other people listening, you can watch us on demand. If you could know somebody that should have seen the show, have them go to the website and they can watch it all over again. Thanks again, Art.
All right, God bless.
God bless you too,
man.
Yeah, that's another one of my buddies, man, and it's good, man, that you got that we got people that know us that call in, and you're a professional comedian. And I crack a lot of jokes, man. And we entertain. We both entertain and educate a lot of people, man. That's one of the things that people don't understand. That's why I get to do the circus speaking, man. That's why I've been to places that I've been. It's not just educating; it's educating and entertaining.
Now,
man.
where's some of the places you spoken on? I know you was on Kinsman a couple times.
Yeah, I've been on Kinsman. And, I've spoken.
You was on Short Scoville,
right?
Ago.
Right. I've spoke, of course, in Ohio. I've spoken in Columbus. I've spoke in Cleveland. I've spoken, all the outskirts of Ohio. I've spoken Pittsburgh, Indiana, Illinois, California, Missouri, Memphis. I know I'm gonna forget something. I've spoken
now, what about
Scotland.
The international places?
Yeah, I've spoken Scotland, England. I've spoken. I've spoken Scotland, I've spoke in Birmingham, and I've spoke in London. Mm-hmm. But the reason why God affords me them opportunities, man, because I'm able to educate and entertain, and a lot of people tell me, man, you got a good story, and it's because I had a bad life. And then I found God, man, and I know everybody that's listening, your path might not be the same as mine, because I didn't have any spirituality. When I was young, I was poisoned, and I make sure I don't do this to my children. What I was told was, if you think wrong, you going to hell, but God love you. Mm-hmm. And it confused me. And then they said, well, if you hang with LeVance and LeVance do something wrong, he going to hell, you going to hell with him, but God love you. Mm-hmm. So I grew up thinking that God was just waiting on me to make a mistake so he could punish me. And I found out later that that's not how God works. Mm-hmm. So what happened was I grew up with this understanding of God was out to get me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't deal with any kind of spirituality. I wasn't spiritual at all. I didn't want to deal with God at all, except on court day. Now, when I had to go to court and I was facing sentencing, the power of God would compel me. My leg would start shaking, and I would believe, because I knew in times of turmoil that only God could help me, man. Mm-hmm. So whether you are a nominal church member like you gentlemen, or if you have a church home like I do, I am a true believer. I am a true and honest believer because of the results that God has manifested in my life. And like I said, I do have a church home. But what happened for me was the way that I found God was about 17 and a half years ago. Now I knew about him and I heard about him. What happened was I was the type of individual that I didn't buy toiletries or food or clothing. I bought cocaine and alcohol with my money. And that's all that my mind could focus on, right? And I remember I went to treatment for the second time and I was seeking help. And I went to go get my food stamps and I cashed them in.
That's back when they actually had food stamps.
Yeah, they had food stamps.
They didn't have a credit card, right?
Right. And I cashed these food stamps in and I'm standing here with about $200. And the thought crossed my mind to go buy some tennis shoes. And I remember at that point, I dropped down on my knees and I started to pray and thank God. And the reason being is I'm a Southern Baptist, and I've heard a lot of, for lack of a better phrase to say it, I heard a lot of interesting stories about Jesus. I heard about him walking on water and turning water into wine and feeding people with the fish. And I heard all these stories, but I didn't get none of that wine. And I didn't see him walk on water. But when I cashed that check and I had that money in my hand and the thought that crossed my mind had never crossed it before, I no longer could deny God's existence. I knew he was real because I didn't change my mind. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how I found God, man. It wasn't when I got baptized. It wasn't anything that anybody told me. I had a personal miracle happen to me, and I couldn't deny its existence.
Absolutely.
So, so that was the beautiful thing. So I want the people out there listening to know if you may not go to church every week, but I'm sure you're aware that when times get stressful, somebody pointed a gun at me. I didn't go to church, but I wasn't thinking about what my mama and them was doing either. I was thinking about God. I say, God, please don't let this man kill me. I remember I had to drop a urine. I knew smoke was coming out. I don't think no actual liquid. I knew I was going to jail. And I say, God, please. Hey, Pastor Larry, I say, I know what you did with the water and the wine. What can you do with this urine, Lord? I say, because I'm out of here, man. I know I'm going to prison.
Going to jail.
So the bottom line is God is real, man. He is as real as you believe him to be.
And we understand that your problems are real as well.
But
there's a real solution. And the hardest person, what I've learned, in my 4 decades on this earth.
It's at least 5. At least 5.
The hardest person to help is a person that don't think they have a problem.
Right.
In personal experience is a great tool. God has to prick their heart, and a well whooped behind makes your ears open up a little bit more.
It's strange how the nerves in the behind reach the mind some kind of way.
Yeah.
The body is a magnificent organism.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, it's one of them things, man, where...
So those of you that have family members, friends, loved ones...
Don't give up on them.
Don't give up on them. Continue to pray. Love them through the addiction, because what they'll do, they'll say you're judging them, or you don't understand, or you hating. How's it hating?
Well, wait. I got a question.
Okay.
Here's my
Well, you got to
question.
call in.
Okay. No. Remember, I'm God.
Okay. All right.
So now you're saying hang in there with them, even though everything is falling apart, things are being ruined. You have become a codependent, or for that person, and your life is being ruined. But you're saying hang in there.
Let me get this.
Okay.
The best way to help an individual is to stop being so helpful.
Right.
Let me tell you what happened to me. As long as my mother and grandmother would allow me to live there and eat there and cushion my falls, I didn't have to rely on God.
Right.
I could rely on mama. So if you want to help an individual that's hurting or that has a problem with any kind of addiction, stop helping.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Stop helping.
Yeah, because it made it sound as though you're supposed to continue to...
No, I said love them. I said
love them.
Love them, understand.
Right.
Sure.
And pray for them.
But I'm out.
No, they can't stay there.
Right.
Put them out. Look, this is the advice of the show. Put them out.
Unless you're married, then you may have to stay longer than the average person.
Even if you're married.
Because of that covenant relationship.
Even if you're married.
But you don't continue to endorse the behavior by financing it, or by sweeping under the carpet, or continue to be codependency. Most people don't find out that there's such a thing as codependency until somebody's got into recovery. Either you went to Al-Anon or the person's went into treatment.
But what we have to remember is these people don't know that. All they know is that their loved one is sick.
Right.
So now they're going to try to help. Right. And they're going to try to help by love.
Right.
And then when that don't work, they're going to nag them to death. And then if that don't work, they're good. They might call somewhere.
Well, money is not the money. Giving them money is not helping.
Oh no.
Letting them take the DVD and the VCR. The Wii, the Xbox.
See what I'm saying? You keep bringing up old stuff. You say you've been 4 decades. You just brought up a VCR. Right. Or a beta.
Yeah. Well,
let them steal a VCR because they ain't gonna be able to sell it. They'll be back home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They might have plans on going to get high. They ain't gonna get high with no VCR.
I mean, let them take the tailpipe. Don't be back home.
Right. Because I'm sure he didn't sell that tailpipe. That's a long range.
I've seen some crazy stuff. As well, I saw a guy come on the block. This is probably in the late '80s. He had a leather jacket that from Good Times. I know it had J.J. Evans on the inside of the collar.
It was old.
Man, the buttons were so big on it, they looked like frisbees. And I said, what we gonna do with this? Oh, it's brand new. I just got it out the cleaners. No, it's in a cleaner's bag. But you didn't just get this out the cleaners, But I understand, and like people say, I judged him and I hated on him because I talked about him.
Okay.
And years later, I was that guy. I was out trying to sell stuff that I didn't want because I was willing to sell it, but I know nobody else wanted it either. Nobody else wanted it either.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Hey, don't you need this microphone sponge? Don't you got a microphone at home somewhere? Ain't you a rapper?
But you brought up a good point. Both of you guys brought up good points. When you're dealing with somebody that's struggling with drugs and alcohol, man, you are the same thing that they are. You powerless. Mm-hmm. You can't help them. The only thing you could do is pray. Pray and tough love, because and the difficult part is to watch them hurt. I'm gonna tell you the most painful thing that I experienced while getting high. I went to my grandmother's house to get something to eat, and this started happening toward the end. I watched the light in the peephole when I knocked on the door, and I saw it disappear and get dark. And then I saw it get light again, but ain't no door open.
She gave you the Jehovah's Witness treatment.
Oh, I knew it. Now, don't take no shots at Jehovah's Witnesses now. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses are serious about their call.
Oh, for sure.
Right, because when last time you went knock on people's door to spread the word? They serious about their commitment, just like Muslims. Right. Muslims are very serious about it. I'm not talking about the ones that fly the planes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about real Muslims. They believe in their cause.
Yeah, Christians are serious about everything too.
Oh, I'm a Christian.
You got some Muslims who especially guys who just get out of jail. They say they Muslim. They go to my church. I'm Muslim, but they go to my church.
Right.
We Muslim.
Right. Eat pork chops at the thing.
They at the barbecue.
Right.
Yeah. Just give me one bone.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to pray over it. Right. But I just want to be careful because I got a lot of Muslim friends and I don't want to act like we anti-Muslim. We love Muslims and Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well,
we don't oppose anyone.
It's also true that people cut the lights on Jehovah's Witnesses, so it's not an indictment on them. It's an indictment on the people that turn
we
out the
was
light
scared.
when they knock on the door.
We were scared because I didn't know who they were. All I heard my mama say is, "Get down."
Yeah.
And I said, for what? I didn't know who was coming. And then, the Jehovah's Witnesses. And so I figured that, they was somebody who was going to hurt us. Well, and then I get older and find out that they dedicated to their cause. Right. And that's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I guess to a degree.
It's just like they got Muslims, even the radicalists that's killing themselves for the sake of their God. That is extreme. When the last time you put on a bomb for Jesus? And walked in a Rite Aid and said, I want y'all to believe.
Well, Jesus is going to have to ask me in person for me to put a bomb on him. So I got to really make sure I'm hearing from God.
It ain't going to be the voice we hearing in this booth.
No.
It's going to sound a little different.
I'm going to have 2 or 3 confirmations that's
But you know what, though? But as Christians, we should have an attitude of saying, I'll die,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For what I believe. But you know what? But I guarantee you that you will not find many who will die for what they believe in Christianity.
Many
because they will say Jesus already died for me.
But many will die for Trayvon Martin because it's a cause.
Okay.
It's a cause. And I think if we put Jesus in the forefront of our life, or whoever you choose to call your God,
the problem is
the
problem is how do we verify that Jesus said it?
Right.
That might be Pastor Larry told you to kill you. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, man, I thought it was Jesus.
Right. That could be that cabbage and corned beef you had talking to you.
Exactly. Now you done got right. You done had
you got a great revelation.
Right. You done had a abnormal reaction to some food.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but the bottom line, man, is that I got to believe in something. Mm-hmm. And ironically, man, we don't want to make people believe that you have to believe any specific way.
No, because,
see, I believe, and this is my
belief.
belief, and this is my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna state it is that I believe it's one God. Mm-hmm. I just believe that we name Him different. Mm-hmm. So I believe that it's important to believe. Mm-hmm. To believe.
Right.
I can't believe in who I see in the mirror because listening to him has got me in so much trouble. Mm-hmm. It's too much selfishness going on in my head to be led around by my own ideas. Mm-hmm. My ideas have to be grounded in a power greater than me. Right. So whatever you find that power to be, as long as it's spiritual in nature, God bless you. Mm-hmm. That's why we don't oppose anyone. Right. I would like for you to believe how I believe because Jesus has changed my life. My life is totally different than what it was, and I didn't produce these results.
Right.
So I would like you to believe, but if you don't believe like I believe, just believe.
Right, and the thing about it, Sean, I'm glad you said that, is most people try to get people to believe how they believe by bashing their belief system, and that's the wrong way to do it. Mm-hmm. What you do is you love them and show them your God through your actions and your behavior. Mm-hmm. The great debate.
And they even try to manipulate you.
It's not going to do it.
They try to manipulate you. You know who try to manipulate you the most? Homeless people.
Yeah.
They ask you for $1, you don't get to them. They say, well, God bless you. Like, man, here you go, man. I give you $1,
I had a
man.
guy ask me, he said, what's the greatest nation in the world? I said, I don't know. He said, a donation. I went on the game.
You asked where was it located at? But where's it located at? I like to go to that nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He said a donation.
But another thing that I had to understand, man, is how God uses us and gives us opportunities to make sacrifices. Mm-hmm. See, like most of us see a homeless person outside and think, get on out of here, homeless dude. Go ahead on. No, I ain't got no change. Well, what that man is presenting for me is an opportunity to get out of myself. Right. See, because I don't want to do nothing for nobody. My true nature is selfish.
Absolutely.
So when an opportunity presents itself, I need to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
See, my real nature, I tell a homeless man to go home.
Right.
Okay, I'd be like, hey, homeless man, get on out of here, man. So the bottom line is, I have to look at everything as an opportunity to get closer to God.
And the thing about it, you look at it through a different lens, Sean. At least I do. Mm-hmm. Once you've been homeless, the homeless are not so terrible. When you spend some time living in somebody's garage and getting let out like a Rottweiler every morning, like I did for 2 weeks. Okay. I was so bad they wouldn't let me stay in the house. Okay. I was in the garage, sleeping on the floor in the garage, and I was okay with it. Okay. Because I didn't have to walk the streets.
Right.
At night, and so now when I see the homeless person, I always see myself in everybody. Okay. I can see a little bit of myself in everybody, and it gives me compassion to reach out to them and try to give them hope through my experience, and that's all I can do is give them hope. I can't rescue everybody. I'm not called to save everybody, but all I can do is when God leads and gives, like you said, provides the opportunity, is to reach out and say, "Hey, I've been there. I know." And I had one guy, and it ended up not ending too well because he wanted to defend his position and say that he was not using drugs and alcohol. Well, I'm like, well, why are you out and at the drugstore on a Sunday dragging a suitcase on wheels and you're in your mid 60s?
He's a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
See, you don't get this man an honest break, man. This man got to act. He done took his act on the road, and you weren't questioning him. Yeah.
And he had been wounded in the church. My wife and I, he saw me give my wife money for stockings, and he was saw me have my wife money. And so my wife went in the car. He went in the store. He came over to the car and was like, "Hey, excuse me." I said, "Nope." And God touched me and said, "Talk to him." And so I wrote him one that I said, "What's up, man?"
What you mean? Nope.
Yeah, because you know, and the thing about it.
Let me tell you a trick. I don't mean cut you. I want to hear this story. When I see a homeless guy walk up to me, I hurry. I be like, man, give me a quarter.
Yeah.
He be like, man. I say I ask first.
Yeah.
But go ahead, man.
Well, see, the thing I didn't like about it was you was looking and saw me hand my wife money, so then you coming to me. You know what I'm saying? So
well, who should he have asked? Somebody ain't had no money. He just saw you got some money, so he know you got something to give him.
I just took offense to it, you know, because it just, you know, I've never been, even in the worst part of my addiction, I was never one to ask somebody for something. I'd rather rob you. You know what I'm saying?
Really? I ain't had no problem asking.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
my God.
I couldn't do it.
I knew the spots.
I couldn't do it. Really.
For any homeless people listening, I don't know how you still got a computer. Go to the church. Go to the church gathering and go to 12-step meetings. Wait in the parking lot. You're going to find somebody that need to get out of self and give you some change.
Right.
Now, half our listeners like, man, I ain't giving them nothing. I don't care if they come to the church anyway.
Well, I gave him the money. He told us his story. My wife.
How much money you give him?
I gave him about $8. I gave him.
That's it?
I gave what I had. I gave him what I had left.
No, man, you got way more money than that. You gonna give him $8?
That's what I had.
I ain't never gave a homeless dude $8. I don't think all the homeless people I gave to don't come up to $8. Man, that's a big statement there.
Well, he got.
Pastor Lay, you ever gave a homeless man that much?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
But he got.
Well, I hope your congregation listening. Pastor giving away all the money y'all give.
Well, you know, the Bible does tell us, you know, you entertain angels unaware.
Okay.
And just because a person looks bad and tattered and torn doesn't mean that I should judge that person.
Are there personality or spirit is tattered and torn?
Yeah, but you can tell because like I planted a church inside the Phyllis Wheatley on 4450 Cedar Avenue.
Okay. And
inside of Phyllis Wheatley, it was at one time a very bad drug-infested apartment complex.
Okay.
But you know, when the Lord put on our heart to plant that ministry there, most of the people were, you know, on drugs, on alcohol, dealing with different vices, and you know, they need Jesus just as much as everybody else.
Okay.
And we did see progress. I mean, we saw people being helped through true ministry.
Okay.
You know, but like you guys, God did put on my heart, you know, the guys that started joining the church, I stopped giving them money. Because someone would just come to church and know, hey, that pastor going to give you some money.
The word get around.
Right.
Well, the homeless people we got our own congregation. We talk. Yeah, we know where to go.
We got you think Verizon got a network? The homeless,
Keep giving us to see how many show up.
The homeless coalition can disseminate information at the speed of light.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, they feeding on Quincy.
Exactly.
They passing out money down to the Phyllis Wheatley.
We'll hit a free church. We'll hit a free food spot. We'll hit what not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the bottom line, once again, if you need to get in contact with us, if you have a question or you have a family member that you want to get some information about
how to help them.
Oh yeah, it's the Safehouse Show at gmail.com, the Safehouse Show on Instagram,
hey guys.
and the Safehouse Show at Facebook. Call us, contact us, and we'll get right back to you.
Okay, caller, go right ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Well, I want to speak about helping homeless people and everything. Because I feel that if more people would help homeless people, maybe they wouldn't go out and rob. Because I was in a situation, someone came in my apartment. I mean, he was a horrible robber, but, you know, he tied me up and everything. And, you know, people get desperate as opposed to you can jack off $5 or whatever, so why not help somebody? It's not going to hurt you.
Why was he a terrible robber?
He was, I know he was a crackhead because he was just a terrible robber. He was like, oh, I want the money.
Hey, you can turn your computer all the way down, please, so we can hear you. We're getting a little feedback.
He was just a terrible robber.
What did he do? He had a gun in one hand and he had his finger pointed at you with the other hand and say, stick him up?
No, he had my knife. He said, oh, I just want the money. I'm like, you got all the money. You took it off the thing. And he's like, oh, I'm going to tie you up. I mean, I didn't feel threatened, which I'm glad he wasn't a good robber because then, he might have killed me or something.
So you mean good, bad versus him being violent or
Right. I understand your point.
Well, I'm glad he was like he was because you wouldn't be able to call in. Probably.
Yeah, he could have. If he was hardcore, he might have killed me.
I understand your point. But one thing that I want to share with you, like I told you before, I know this young lady, and she makes one of the biggest mistakes that First of all, she got a beautiful heart, right? Beautiful person. You hear me, Pastor? But this is what she do. She'll go into a store and a couple of homeless people. It'll be a couple of homeless people there. And, it'll be a couple of homeless people there, and they'll say, "Well, you got any money?" She'll pull out a whole knot of money and get them $1. Yeah. And they'll say, "Well, you have a good day."
And wonder why they're waiting for at a car when they
Exactly. Hey, Lisa, I want to thank you for calling. I want to tell you that I love you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is my show.
Thanks for
listening. This is my radio, KAZ. This is my radio station. I run this whole thing, man. Both these dudes are my assistants. We'll see y'all next Thursday.
See you next Thursday.
Right, 7 o'clock to
Love
8
you,
o'clock.
Tina Lining.
Email us. Hit us at Instagram, Facebook.
Don't pick up.
And we out.